Hi, and welcome to our demo of Gozynta Mobius. Manually entering invoices into QuickBooks is slow and error-prone. Gozynta Mobius takes your invoices, expenses, and inventory and brings them over to QuickBooks Online, saving you hours of work and possible errors from manually entering the data. We'll find existing products, customers, and vendors in QuickBooks Online. But if they're not there, we'll create them automatically for you, reducing the need to upkeep two separate databases. When you get paid, Gozynta Mobius will sync your payments to ConnectWise PSA so that both systems show your finances and AR statuses are up to date everywhere. To save you even more time, our standard plan will enable you to automate batching over invoices, expenses, inventory, and payments, saving you hours of manual entries, and it will unlock our white label payment processing. Gozynta Mobius is compatible with QuickBooks Online Essentials, Plus, and Advanced, and ConnectWise PSA Cloud, and ConnectWise PSA On-Premise for the current version and previous version. It only takes a few minutes to connect ConnectWise PSA and QuickBooks Online to Mobius. All plans include 5 hours of onboarding with our financial expert to ensure Mobius is configured to your unique business needs. We will walk you through connecting QuickBooks Online, configuring ConnectWise PSA by setting up custom security roles, creating an API member, setting up your GL account setup tables, reviewing customer, vendor, and employee mapping, review customer duplication prevention, and assist with setting up your taxes. We will perform the first few syncs with you and show you how to verify the data. So let's get started. First, you will want to log into QuickBooks Online and Mobius. We're going to connect our ConnectWise PSA account by entering our site, our company ID, and our API keys, and we're going to select Save. And then we're going to connect to QuickBooks Online. I'm going to select Default. And because I'm already logged in to my training account, I'm going to select Connect to QuickBooks. The little wizard's going to pop up. I'm going to just click Connect. And now my QuickBooks Online account is successfully connected. So let me take you on a tour. The Company tab here allows you to change your QuickBooks Online company name as it's displayed in Mobius. This is especially useful if you are connecting more than one QuickBooks Online account using our standard plan, and allows you to configure sending invoices out of Mobius. The remaining tabs allow you to dial in how your data is transferred to QuickBooks Online. We do start you off with some default settings which can be used right away, and our financial experts will help you determine which settings are right for you. Under the Sales tab, this allows you to dial in and configure how invoices are transferred to QuickBooks Online. The Purchases tab allows you to configure how your expenses are transferred over. And the Contacts tab allows you to configure how your customers, employees, and vendors will transfer to QuickBooks Online. Our standard plan unlocks the last 3 tabs here. This will enable you to accept multi-currency, sync over classes and locations, and enable the auto sync module, where you can sync your invoices, expenses, procurement to QuickBooks Online, and your payments back to ConnectWise PSA. While we do give you the flexibility to sync every 15 minutes, a recommended frequency to sync is every 2 hours. The navigation bar over here is pretty straightforward. You will see here that you can add more than one QuickBooks Online account, and you would do so using the same method that I connected the first one. The following section allows you to configure sending your invoices directly out of Mobius. And the payment setting unlocks Gozynta Payments, which is our white labeled payment processing. The next section here is where really all the magic happens to create invoice batch, expenses, inventory, and run payment syncs. So let's see how it works. This next section is where we will batch over our invoices, expenses, inventory, and then transfer our payments back from QuickBooks Online into ConnectWise PSA. So let me show you what it looks like to sync over an invoice, payment, expense, and inventory. So first I'm going to go into ConnectWise PSA. And I'm going to go into my invoicing screen. So I do have a time entry for Indigo Strawberry Company. And reviewing the time entry, it looks like we resolved the printer issue. So I'm going to go ahead and create that invoice. It is important to note that this invoice needs to be in a closed status. So I'm going to go to Invoice Search. And invoice 580 for Indigo Strawberry Company is still in open status here. So I am going to open it up and close it. Now that it's closed, I can go to the accounting interface and 580 is ready to batch over. So I'm going to go into Mobius, select Create Invoice Batch. And this is pulling from my accounting interface for invoice 580 for Indigo Strawberry Company in the amount of $90.10. So I'm going to make sure I select that. And I'm going to hit Submit. In Mobius, we're going to take you through the batch. So it was able to connect to ConnectWise and QuickBooks Online. It pulled over my tax information, my terms. It took my invoice PDF from ConnectWise and uploaded it as an attachment to QuickBooks Online. It found my billing terms and my customer, and this completed successfully. So let's go back into QuickBooks Online. I do like to make sure I'm in accountant view. Right now it says switch to business, so I know I'm already there. So I'm going to go sales, invoices. And I see that I have my invoice for Indigo Strawberry Company in the amount of $90.10. And I'm going to go ahead and receive the payment on that. I'm going to mark that as paid. Now I do want to show you that PDF from ConnectWise PSA did upload into QuickBooks Online. So now that we have made the payment on this invoice, I'm going to go back to Mobius, and in my navigation pane, I'm going to run a payment sync from today. I'm going to select Submit. Again, it's going to take you through the batch and the steps that we take. So it found my payments. It found my payment on invoice 580, and it applied the payment to ConnectWise. Now the next step is to sync over our purchase orders. So if I go into procurement, purchase orders, I have all these purchase orders that are open. Mobius will only grab purchase orders once they are in a closed status. To do that, all products must be received. So in this case, I am going to click, you can do this two ways. Click it, actions, receive products, and then save. Or if you partially receive it, you can come into the product and then hit receive. Now I do have it set up to close the purchase order once all items are received. This is purchase order 154. Now if I go back under finance, accounting interface, procurement, packing slip PO 154 is ready to be batched over. So if I go to Mobius and create an inventory batch, right here at the bottom, packing slip 154. So I want to select none and then just transfer over this one packing slip. And again, it's going to take us through the steps that Mobius takes to batch this over. So it found my billing term, it found my vendor, it found my inventory. So let's go back into QuickBooks Online. And under bills, you'll see Platinum Test Vendor here for $1,800. That is the one that we just batched over. To batch over an expense, the expense report must be approved, depending on your settings. So right now I'm showing that there are no unposted expense reports. So let's go into time and expense, approvals. So let's approve these two. Now you're going to notice when I go back under the finance screen, accounting interface, this is going to come over as line items. So mileage was reimbursable, hotel was not reimbursable. Again, mileage reimbursable, not reimbursable. There are two ways to set this over. You can send everything over as GL entry or line item, or you could set bills, reimbursable items to come over as bills. I do have my reimbursable items transferring over as bills, so I will show you what this looks like. I'm going to batch all of these over. And it will show us the process here again. So it found my customer. Company name, your company was not found, so we created it. The members were both found. It created my expenses in QuickBooks Online and then posted it to ConnectWise. So I'm going to be looking for 4469, 4471, 4465, and 4467. Four, 465, 4467 both came over. And then Alfonso's came over as well, 6-9 and 7-1. Now let's review our existing batches. In the left-hand navigation pane, we will click Review Existing Batch. This will show you the status of each batch previously started. In this section, you will see one of three results. Either a green finish, which means that the batch completed without error. You will see a yellow finished with warning, which means that we are alerting you to a possible conflict but still completed the sync. Or a red finished with error, which means the batch should be reviewed as some items may have not been batched over. An example of this would look similar to this. So this member was not added to QuickBooks Online because we were missing their member information setup. It links me to a KnowledgeBase article on how to correct the issue. Now it really is just that easy. But what if you need help? Not to worry. In the left-hand navigation, there's a link to our documentation, which will bring you directly to our online knowledge base. Once you're here, you would select Mobius for QuickBooks Online. Our knowledge base is comprised of 7 key sections, and most articles have a quick how-to video at the top. The Start Here section contains everything that you need to know to get started. Our configuration articles walk you through the configuration process for each area of Mobius and their corresponding configuration within QuickBooks Online and ConnectWise PSA. Our Frequently Asked Questions section has the answers to common questions that we are asked. The Troubleshooting articles reference issues that are unrelated to errors. These include things like how do I unbatch an invoice or steps to take if an invoice didn't sync over. The Help I Received an Error knowledge base section includes articles that are directly related to errors and warnings that you may come across. These articles include the exact error message and is searchable. These documents walk you through how to correct the error or point you to a configuration article for you to review your current setup. Our Best Practices section contains articles for how to get the most out of your integration. And finally, at the bottom are release notes and updates, where you can see a high-level overview of all improvements and feature requests for current and past versions of Mobius. If you have issues that you just can't seem to figure out, not to worry. Simply email us at support@gozynta.com and we will get back to you within a few hours. Are you ready to purchase? Head on over to gozynta.com/Mobius, select products, and under Mobius, select pricing. From here, you're going to select the plan that's right for you and select Buy Now. We hope you become a customer of ours soon. Thank you for watching.